This is gonna be my weirdest intro because I feel kinda emotional about this project. First, let me pitch you how awesome it will be. A hot air balloon docking station built in my survival forever world where happy gas can land and live with a pool to revive dry gas, a snow farm to feed them and everything they might need. But it will also be a huge flying ship, bigger than, yep, those ones, and this one too, far bigger. Well, large enough to be above the cloud level and to have room for houses, a ballroom, a cinema, the cargo bay, the guest cabins, the crew quarters, a zen garden, so keep watching. Alright, maybe it's better if I start from the beginning. 2 years ago, I was visiting an awesome museum. Wait, I mean IRL! I'm talking about the Technology Museum in Berlin, where I fell in love for this model in the aircraft exhibition. It was so detailed, so evocative. When I got home, I realized what the only reasonable thing to do was, and I bet you all will agree. Try to figure out how to build it in Minecraft. I tried to draw the right shape. This is roughly what I started from, the top and side view of the hull. Then I copied it into graph paper to turn it into a shape made of Minecraft blocks. I built the sketch in my creative world, first on a flat surface, then as a 3D shape, choosing from the very beginning smooth basalt and light terracotta for the hull. Designing the hot air balloon in creative was a long project, but a satisfying one, and I'm so happy I can finally tell you about it. Villagers are not good listeners. I don't have to keep this secret from you anymore. The air balloon was always closed, the creative lab you saw in many videos, but I always avoided showing it. Well, at least I tried my best to hide it. Last year I was about to build it on the sea to celebrate the 10,000 days of my forever world. Yes, there was also a new map art and some fireworks involved. I even built a dark oak farm since I need a lot of it, but I never started. It didn't feel good. I kept working in the creative world and the project has grown with Minecraft updates. When the trial chambers were added to the game, I went fighting the breeze like everybody else, but I also experimented with the new tough blocks, finally finding the right palette for the hull. But again, I wasn't ready. When the happy guest was announced, I knew that the balloon would finally become part of my forever world as the largest happy gas docking station ever seen in Minecraft Survival. Last week, we added the Happy Gas Island to the zoo, the port from where tourists can embark to reach the balloon, which will float over the lake. I have no idea how many hours I spent in the creative world during the past 2 years, detailing the hot air balloon over and over again, so let's start counting the days here in my forever survival world. It's time to go home and roll up my sleeves. Today is day 30,310 and I'm back at my dome to gather the materials and finally bring the hot air balloon in my forever world. I need a crazy amount of light grey terracotta for the hull, almost 2 shulker boxes, but I always complain about the white terracotta sandwiched between 2 light grey layers. There's plenty of it, it's just a matter of time. 1 year ago, I emptied a trial chamber. I'm not sure what to do with it yet, but at least I have plenty of copper and tough bricks. I will take care later of the details because I will need an insane amount of different blocks and items for the balloon. For now, I'm gonna set up the shape of the hull because I can't wait anymore. I want to start building. I will resort to Happy Gas later, but I need a solid platform to start. I reached the roof of the Happy Gas stables from the last episode and counted 80 scaffoldings. Don't worry, the dirt platform is just temporary. Ooh, that's the moment I was waiting for all these months. It's time to finally place the first block. There should be a ceremony with a marching band. But it's okay. It's just me up here in the sky, overlooking the zoo down there. Drum roll, please. This is how it all began. And by the way, there was not enough room on the dirt platform for a marching band. This is the lower layer of the cargo bay. It gives you an idea of how large the ship will be. It took me one Minecraft day to set it up. Just to be clear, this is the width of the hull, the shorter section. Let me show you the hatch. It's the entrance for Happy Ghast. And look, the amazing view of the Ghast Island. Watch the hull take shape before your eyes. There will be tons of features and details hanging from the ship, but we will add them later, thanks to the Happy Ghast. I'm using dark oak for the bottom of the hull, because it will look darker, seen from below, as it should be. The model in the Ballroom Museum was inspired by this 18th century print. The artist was imagining a distant future, the year 2440. The air balloon is supposed to transport goods but also passengers and must have attraction, so the passengers have a pleasant journey, like a flying cruise ship. It's futuristic but from the past, so it looks a bit steampunk, I guess. We are about to reach the clouds and it took me about 1 hour, but the hull is not finished yet. The hull has many large windows and later I will add the gun hatches. Yep, it's a cruise ship, but it's heavily armed. Those were darker times. Let's wrap up the hull to the main deck. Then I will need more blocks to work with. What a view! The museum district and then the zoo. What if we zoom in? The fog from the last update is nice but too thick. And the clouds are not helping. Alright, lunch break is over. The ship is getting shape. We are about to reach the main deck and then we will divide this large space into more manageable floors and halls. The ship looks a little stocky now, but she'll get better, trust me. She'll be a beauty. Do you remember all the shapes we drew at the beginning of the video? Look at them, becoming a 3D building. The bow of the ship has an elaborate decoration, which I made with polished basalt and dark oak trapdoors. Hello, sir. What a journey to get here, in this pouring rain. Do you have something nice for me? Oh, yes, you do. I'll buy you a small drip leaf, all of it. Well, I want something else, your llamas. But don't worry, the transaction will be painless. You're not the one who's supposed to be in the boat. I will bring mobs to the air balloon later, but I honestly couldn't resist the idea of having some free llamas right now in the cargo bay, without even the hassle of carrying them all the way up here. I have to gather more materials, and I'm leaving you in charge, my dude. Are we clear? You can't imagine how many blocks are needed for a project so big. 1,000? You're not close. 5,000? More? 10,000, you say? Well, now multiply by 4, because the air balloon needs almost 40,000 blocks. Sure, I knew what I was getting into and I had months to collect large quantities of white wool, terracotta and various types of wood, but it still took a long time to gather and craft everything. I don't like to use TNT dupers, but for large quantities of concrete this foam is a time saver, and it looks nice too. I have plenty of sculk blocks, but I need a stack of sculk veins to decorate sea lanterns and frog lights. Ooh, what a nice surprise! And there's more! My friend, I need 8 cake ASAP, and I don't feel like milking cows. Can you help me? Thank you! Everybody complains about aging copper trapdoors. Guys, build an oxidation chamber in a cave under your base. There should be everything, even counting the shulker boxes that are already on the ship. Look, 2 boxes are just for the white wall of the balloon, and yes, they are divided by color. We have the bamboo blocks in the yellow one, the red blocks and the mangrove. 2 boxes of pinkish blocks, then the blue ones. Yep, I might have a tiny little compulsion, but this is how my mind works. Let's grab everything. The air balloon is waiting for us. Look at her, she's awesome. Well, at least she will be. The ship still needs some love. Everything is as we left it. Good job, buddy. Hey, be careful. This is a fly-only area. And by the way, let's go bring one of our friends from the last episode up here. Alright, let's get back to work with no further ado. The windows need trapdoors. Ooh, I've tried building with a happy gas before, but using it for something that would otherwise be so complicated is so satisfying. The happy gas and I are refining the hull with all the windows and the hatches you can see in the model. Yep, those are stairs, taking passengers under the hull where we will build a bunch of crazy viewing platforms. Why on earth would people venture so close to the void? I bet they don't even have an elytra. We are inside the hull, right behind the windows. Ooh, there's a spider up there. Should I? Alright, let me take care of it. And it's gone. So, these are the doors that lead outside the ship. Let's reach them with a staircase. And here we are. Ooh, this is nice, even if it's raining. Still unsafe if you're asking me, but nice. I'm not sure what this pointy thing is for, so I decided it's for steering, although in that case it should be at the stern, not at the bow. Anyway, the helmsman will be walking right there. From the platform we will reach the first deck. It's an old-fashioned dancing hall, with a stage for the orchestra and a buffet. In a corner, near the windows, there will be also room for a turtle aquarium. Putting up all the floor planks was a pain, but not as much as cutting down all the mangrove trees I needed. We're talking about almost 1,000 planks. Do the math! Next to the ballroom, I planned 2 more attractions. An old-style cinema on this side and a Zen garden on the opposite side of the ballroom, if you're not in the mood for dancing. For now, it's just empty spaces, but don't worry, I will take care of it. Ballroom looks already grand, even without the roof. Passengers can reach the lower level to venture outside the hall or to take a closer look at the aquarium. The cargo bay is gonna be filled with precious goods, but also useful features for happy guests. I have plenty of room down there, so I should probably close the section where the hull curves to make it look nicer. Pink terracotta for the wall, then maybe copper grids. I'm not sold. Let's try sandstone walls and add columns made of copper grids and copper platform as support. We have finally reached the main deck of the ship, and the staircase behind me will lead outside. Again, I will need hundreds of spruce planks, putting all these logs at good use, so we better get to work. The clouds are really my way. They can be annoying when building in the sky, but I selected the one-layer clouds. They will be inside this section of the floor, and at least here, they won't be seen. Ah, it's getting crowded up here. Sorry folks, you haven't paid for your ticket and stowaways aren't accepted on board. Please leave quietly without blowing up all my work, thank you. Alright, time to add lights or it will get worse. I left holes in the floor, it wasn't a mistake. They can be filled with a redstone torch and then a redstone lamp. I will add more lights to spawn-proof everything, but that's a start. And a nice one. Downstairs I can use the same redstone torches and put more lamps. Later I will add glass panes and lanterns to create the chandeliers for the ballroom. At some point, I realized that the llamas were gone. I was worried I had fallen to their demise through the cargo bay hatch, and I searched the flashback recording to find out that they were in perfect health. They had just escaped from their work in the cargo bay to go swimming in the lake. Good luck, guys! The upper deck of the ship will house cabins, restaurants, and outdoor recreation areas, but first thing first, let's focus on the main feature of the ship, the hot air balloon. The main mast is supposed to be here in the center. It's not made of wood but solid black metal. Deep slate blocks will do fine. The mast will support the air balloon. I guess that it should be filled of hot air from this level with campfires. We will leave the firebox doors open to be refueled and because they look nice. From here, we can build up to the top. Oh, look at the sunset over the zoo! And the annoying clouds are finally below us. From here, the mast will connect to the air balloon. The smoke from the campfires down below doesn't reach up here, so I added more campfires hidden under the black carpet, so it will look like the smoke is coming from a dark chimney. Are you ready for our star, the hot air balloon? Look at that! Do you like it, buddy? He sounds excited too. As for me, I love it. Let's build the other half of it. Even the top of the air balloon is used by passengers who can reach it with a narrow ladder or maybe with a happy gas. Curious kids can take a trip inside the balloon with its smoking chimney. Although I honestly imagine the air would be too hot, but who cares? Science, right? Other passengers can take a stroll up to the top. There's a copper staircase spiraling up, but they probably should fill out a disclaimer first. You know, the mangrove fence doesn't look so foolproof. And I wish I could use the Indiana Jones soundtrack. It would be the perfect theme for the happy Ghast to the rescue of the details that I couldn't place from above. Under the balloon, I added iron bars as rigging and tons of lights. It deserves to be seen from a distance. There will be a weapon on this platform and a deck for smaller head balloons on the other side. This project would have been very difficult without the happy Ghast, and it deserves recognition. In the previous fancy banner video, I showed you how to realize this happy Ghast banner. And now you know why I needed it. Hey buddy, ready for another ride? On the top of the air balloon, I want to build the happy Ghast banner again, only bigger. The flags look a bit wonky, but I think it's part of the vibe, and I like how it can be seen from afar. There's a small air balloon in the original picture. I reckon it's a shuttle to connect two ports for which the ship is too big. In case you missed it, in the last video we built a happy Ghast Island as an expansion of the zoo. And as you can see, visitors can reach the large air balloon with this shuttle from this very deck. I tried to make it very similar to the one in the model, so let's add a second shuttle docked at the balloon pier. The palette is a bit different from the ship docked at the island, but the design is the same, and it looks so tiny compared to the ship's balloon. At night, clouds appear like fog, covering the main deck. A bit spooky. Anyway, I made sure that the top of the air balloon is reachable without flying. Follow me. We are inside the balloon, and this is the observation deck for the chimney, while the ladder leads upstairs to the attractions outside the balloon. From here, we can reach this platform, where in the original print there's a large gun. We can start like this. The gun is supposed to be long range, and there are smaller cannons in the side ports. Weapons might seem out of place on a cruise ship, but keep in mind that the print dates back to the 1700s. All that's missing to the upper section is the sails, but I'm tired of seeing the main deck so bare and sad. It's time to add all the cabins, restaurants and recreation areas for the crew, the captain and the passengers. Let's start with the guns we mentioned earlier, because they provide light and we can get rid of these nasty torches. A block of blackstone is the central part. This is where the gunpowder goes and the black candle is the fuse. Now let me go a bit futuristic with an end rod and then a lightning rod that will be visible from outside the hull. Let's fill all the gun ports with this design. Let's take care of the buildings, starting with the bigger one that you can see on the bow of the ship. The ground floor houses the second-class cabins, somewhat cheap but cozy, with wide corridors, lounge areas and a spacious porch overlooking the main deck. A staircase leads to the first-class deck, which is higher and brighter with a common area and large, comfortable cabins. A trim of signs will make it look more interesting. Yep, that's better. I know, I love killing the FPS of my world. I spent an entire afternoon decorating the passenger cabin, so let me show you around. This is the second class deck. As you can see, it's cozy, with all the sofas and the carpets, but not that fancy. Ignore the boxes. There are chilling areas, a small bar with a reading area, but there are no windows and it's a bit gloomy. This is the bathroom. It's not that bad, with sink, towels, toilet and even a porthole. The cabins are, well, tiny and with bunk beds, even the family room, because, they're cheaper. But I love the door plates. There is supposed to be the room number here, and they're functional. If you push the button, the door opens. What else? Another nice detail is the roof with the raw copper decoration. There's a different vibe when we reach the first class deck, fancier and lavish. This is the reading area and the cabins are all different, with glazed terracotta as plates. The orange cabin is a single, maybe for a businessman traveling alone, while the blue one has two beds. They are all similar with windows and plants, but different in color and, well, the comfort potted flower. Now the bathroom. It has a tub, a mirror, the toilet with, well, toilet paper. Look at this simple act. A frame, a white banner that you should turn down, then point outside the frame and add a pale oak button. Outside, there are the suites, larger cabins like the pink one, with a queen bed, the mandatory flower and a nice view. On the first class deck outside, you can sunbath on the loungers or look at the bubbles, it's a jacuzzi. The other side is kinda symmetric. The suit is red, like I said, different colors, and the flower is a red tulip. There are more sunbeds, another jacuzzi, and a small tree, although I think the wind would actually uproot it, but this is Minecraft after all. The staircase leads us to the upper deck, where we are about to build a restaurant connected to a large kitchen over there. Today is the day 30,389. It's been 79 days since the beginning, but there's still a lot to come. Keep watching! When I started planning the hot air balloon 2 years ago, I struggled finding the right scale, so I started designing this building, a white house similar to a chapel with high windows, connected to a smaller one surrounded by weird chimneys. It would have been a medium-sized building in a city, but it's so small compared to the flying ship. I don't know what purpose the author had for this house, but it looks grand, so I turned it into a fancy restaurant, and the nearby building will be the kitchen. There's a bell on the roof of the restaurant, but I want it bigger than the Minecraft bell, so it can be seen from a distance. First, the pour in deep slate and nether brick fences. I have to say it, there's no official way to reach this roof, so it's unclear who should ring this bell, but we can imagine a rope hidden somewhere. A old gold block is the bell, with a dark oak button as clapper, and that's it. And now let's complete the tower. I guess the second building with its pipes could have been an engine room of some sort, but since it's close to the restaurant, I decided to make a kitchen of it. And the piping system is just too many exhaust pipes for the ovens, ending with a smoking chimney. I know, I could have been whatever I wanted, but I enjoyed the challenge to be faithful as possible to the model in the Ballroom Museum. It was an awesome font of inspiration. The pipes are also on the other side of the kitchen in a smaller 1-block wide version. The walls of the building are in smooth sandstone, and the roof has the same shape of the restaurants, but in a darker palette of nether bricks and crimson stairs. I think both buildings are elegant, not over-decorated. The key element is their shape. Dear passengers, dinner is served. Follow me and take your seat. This is the restaurant with all the tables already set for dinner. If we head upstairs, there's an exclusive dining table where the captain eats with few lucky guests at a time. Under a roof of fallen leaves that doesn't seem very hygienic but romantic, right? Let's get up and check the kitchen like the fussy host of a cooking show. But there's nothing to complain about in this kitchen since it's pretty busy in here. A sink, the ovens, the stoves, cooked food is placed on this table, ready to be served. Upstairs, there's a large storeroom. We have a whole ship to feed. All shelves are full of food. A cauldron of milk, well, I know it's powdered snow. And potted saplings can be aromatic herbs. Give me a break. Down on the lower deck, I already placed all my boxes to build a small tower to complete the bow of the ship. Since I decided that this gizmo is a steering device, the helmsman will live and walk in this tower. It's the perfect place where to plot the course, check the weather, and doing whatever a helmsman is supposed to do. It was late and I crashed in the yellow suit, so I can briefly show you the helmsman tower at the light of dawn. And of course, I remove all my boxes. I'm not that messy. This is the table where he works, with the maps and the books he needs. And upstairs, there are all his tools to check the stars and the weather, and even a bed. The balcony is on the very front of the ship. Look, Can you see the whole air balloon right behind me? Let's get down. The helmsman keeps its logbooks in the bookshelf and reads them on the lectern. Let's turn our attention to the opposite side of the ship. At the bow we just built the passenger quarters, while at the stern there will be the cabins of the crew, officers and captain. All crew members sleep and eat in this section of the ship, from the humblest cabin boy to the captain himself. The lower deck is for the crew, but as you can see, it's cozy. They can spend their free time sitting and chilling in this porch. There's a cabin. They eat all together and also drink. And here we have the dorms with plenty of bunk beds. The twin cabin is on the other side and it's very similar to the first one. At the end of the corridor there are smaller bedrooms with even a private bathroom, tiny but functional. I guess they are for female sailors. And again, a twin bedroom is on the other side of the corridor. Then a staircase leads up upstairs with a window onto the view below. Nice! And then a small warehouse with a bunch of random stuff. Higher up there are more cabins, probably for officers. It looks weird, but there's gonna be a sale here. The bigger house is, you guessed it, all for the captain. Yes, privileges. Don't blame him, he would have done it too. Anyway, this is where the captain meets his officers. They sit on these fancy high chairs. We designed those backrests in the last banner video, so check it out. And this is the map, the happy gas island with the cableway and the air balloon, well, at least what we built so far. Let's go upstairs where the captain has his studio and bedroom, and then a small, very private attic with a stash of gold and his secret way out of here if things should turn wrong. You can see what I'm talking about. Let's lead the portal. And who? Where are we? I'm joking, I already had the portal ready at the right coordinates connected to the nether hub. But it's not time to go home yet. Let's complete the ship. On the main deck, I added a seating area where to chat or relax. I love the colorful flags. On this side, ooh, hello buddy. There's a landing area for happy guests. It's well marked. But I want to add more life on the deck. The ship could be transporting animals, so let's start with something simple. A couple of salmons in this tank. Oh, it's a tiny one, so cute. And oopsie, that's the biggest Minecraft salmon I ever saw. It didn't look so big when I catch it. Oh, get back inside, please. I guess I should free this Guinness record fish somewhere else and find a new one. Alright, this one should do. Nice and easy. 2 puffer fish will live happily ever after in this tank. Too dark. Guys, can I guess not. Why do I keep using puffer fish, I wonder? Whatever, frog lights to close the tank, and that's done. Finally, let's spawn a couple of colorful chickens in these cages. Ooh, the first egg! Let's quickly close the cage, sorry buddy, and build another one on top, as if they're stuck. Hey, the first egg was fine again! I must admit, I postponed an important feature on the upper deck, the sails. Building organic is always a challenge, but I like how they turned out. I used light grey wool for shading and carpets or glow lichen to spawn-proof every surface. Building the sail was so much fun, sure. I love parkouring pointlessly while placing blocks, but anyway, I fell only a couple of times. It could have been worse. The upper deck is finished, so it's time to bring some life inside the ship, starting with the empty ballroom. Let's start by placing 2 turtle eggs on the sand of the aquarium so they can hatch while we walk around here. 1 and 2. See you later! The hot air balloon is like a cruise ship. For the interiors, I imagine the life of the nobles of the early 20th century, a mix of naivety, optimism and decadence. The ballroom reflects this spirit, and I think there's everything we need for a nice evening. The buffet table, the dance floor and the orchestra stage with a lectern for the director. And near the turtle aquarium there are tables where you can sit if you're not in the mood to dance. Let's set 2 special mirrors, a frame with a raw copper, looks like a juicy stick, and then a birch bottom is a slice of cheese. Now another frame, and torch flower seeds as a salad, and the coral is the perfect bowl for it. Finally, let's add cushions to these chairs. I'll put the link with the tutorial for the banners in the description if you want a nice dining table in your Minecraft world. If your idea of a nice evening doesn't include dancing or eating, let me guide you to a quiet place where to spend some time, the Zen garden. I know we need a wall all around the garden and we will build it, but let's start with filling the pond. Oh, I like this place, the glowberries, the pond with a little bridge. Let's add a shrine on this empty wall. Mud brick walls and slabs. A couple of candles and a plate. Now, I'm not an expert, so please feel free to correct me in the comments, but we have the water garden on this side. So, let's build the dry garden on the opposite side with the sand that is supposed to be raked, creating patterns. There is no rake in Minecraft and I doubt we'll have one anytime soon, so I'm using smooth sandstone, creating a pleasant wavy shape. Hello again, my oversized friend. I hope this pond is a better place for you. And he's stuck. Come on, we were having a moment. It will be okay. Meanwhile, one of the turtle eggs has hatched, and we have a tiny turtle swimming in the aquarium. How cute! On the opposite side of the Zen garden, let's create a more mundane attraction. In this empty hall, we are gonna build a cinema. To match the vibe of the air balloon, this is not a modern cinema but an old one. For black and white movies and before the sound, when the music was played on a piano. Follow the tutorial for a nice compact design for a grand piano. The piano strings are the inner core. Wrap it all around with dark oak stairs. From this side, 2 stairs, just 2 stairs with slabs in the middle. Now, the looms are the perfect block for a keyboard. Do you see all the keys? The lid of the piano is open to improve the sound. The first row of slabs, let's use a temporary one to get up half block. Now we can replace it. Oops, not on the keys, thank you. A smooth curve made of dark oak trapdoors and an iron bar to keep it open. Finally, 2 black banners here. The birch buttons are the pedals and this is the stool for the player. I love it. It's easy, but it totally looks like a grand piano. It looks like we have everything: the chairs, the buffet table, the piano. This gizmo could be the projector, and if we add an end rod, it's the light beam that will end up. I know, we have everything except the movie itself. Let's choose a Charlie Chaplin classic. But we have only 9 blocks, so I resized the image to 9 pixels. You still see the picture, right? Time to map out it. Look at that! Did I just build all of this? It's insane! I love all the details, it feels so alive! Am I too fast to nail the catwalk? Almost. Fine, I can jump. Ooh, the turtle is a big boy now. Hello there! I guess his brother is still a tiny turtle swimming somewhere. He will grow. Let's go down to the cargo bay. It's still empty, as you remember, with the entrance for the happy gas. So maybe we can reach the center of it. To get a nice transition, spin and woo! Nope. I wonder why it works for everybody else. I had so much fun planning the cargo bay. As you can see, there are piles of Minecraft blocks like amethyst, redstone, resin, skulk, but the cargo bay is mostly intended for the happy gas and their needs. Take all the glass and wool near the large hatch. They are the ingredients for the harness, like this. Let's display them here, ready for the next ride. Then there's the tank, where the dry gas can be revived, with a bunch of snow to feed them. And if it's not enough, I have a functional snow farm here. Hello, my friend! Anyway, not everything is gas related like the paintings. They will look like they are transported to some art gallery. The canvases are made of birch trapdoors, in case you were wondering. And finally, well, I know that museum skeletons are dismantled for transport, but I couldn't resist hanging this one here as it is. The gizmo of the bigger gear is a very important feature, essential for navigation, and it will be connected to... let's ride the happy gas so I can show you. The machine in the cargo bay is connected to a giant barrel, probably filled with fuel of some sort. I wonder if the author of the original print thought the mega keg was full of beer instead. I guess we'll never know. It's very dark down there, so let's add a bunch of lanterns and copper bulbs. which I have to turn on with the last available button in my inventory, hoping not to drop it. Seriously, how was I supposed to build this part without the happy Ghast? Do you remember the two doors that led outside the ship? Let's connect them with walkways under the hull. This is the spot where we started to build the air balloon more than 100 days ago, climbing up with scaffoldings. I can't believe we are almost done. Take another good look at the original print. It seems like the passengers are having tons of fun walking along those narrow walkways to the hanging houses. And is there a cage too? Madame, are you up for a bold and exciting adventure? They said. And that's how you end up down here. Let's squeeze the interiors into the little houses suspended under the hull. Because if you're a passenger crazy enough to reach one, you deserve to be comfortable. Well, a table with a potted flower, a carpet and a door, and that's all the space we have. Let's reach the second house. It's still tiny but a bit larger. There was room for 2 sofas, at least you don't have to stand. All we are missing is a flower, carpets and a door. Let's face it, it's not like I feel comfortable in there. But hey, this was it. It's finally done. This is the point where we started with a dirt platform. It's a bit different now. I already showed you the cargo bay and its features, so let's head straight to the ballroom to have some fun. Look at the dance floor under the chandeliers and imagine the orchestra playing from this stage. Then you can watch a movie in the cinema or visit the Zen garden on the other side of the hall. The upper deck is awesome and bursting with life. Look at the majestic air balloon over our heads and the elegant structures for the passengers and the crew. Let's pay a visit to the captain's cabin, the studio where we meet the officer and make important decisions consulting the maps, and its private quarters with the portal and its secrets. Now imagine you're a sailor, manning the sails. You're humble, but doesn't looking out from here make you feel like king of the world? Yeah, I heard that one before. We already visited the first-class cabins and the helmsman's tower. I wish I could really spend some time in the hot tub. Then I could dine at the restaurant or maybe be invited to sit at the captain's table. This is not just another huge project, a flying ship, a zoo expansion. This is a dream come true. I planned the air balloon for more than 2 years, and I am glad that I waited to find the right spot for it, but I'm also very happy and proud to finally see it in my forever world. Enjoy the view inside the balloon and follow me for the last steps of this tour to the top of the balloon under the happy Ghast flag, the symbol of the ship. Thank you all for watching. Leave a like and maybe subscribe, it's free and it will help me a lot. And in case you were wondering, the hot air balloon took 132 Minecraft days to make, since I didn't sleep every night. It's about 24 hours of gameplay. So enjoy the outro. There will be many details that you might have missed. See you soon!
If you wanna know how I do it, if you search for a new cool idea, here she is, me my MC, the best place to be, building brick by brick, with a little chic, mountain high or never deep, all you villagers and pillagers, she's gonna show the craft, to the secrets of Minecraft, assembling, creating, and waiting for the new update. Don't be a creeper, if you like what you see, raise your hands high and thumbs up for